Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. So today we're going to be going over writing your resume and your cover letter. Now don't worry, this is just part one, so it's going to be going over just writing your resume, but make sure and check out part two to see all things cover letter. Just a quick introduction, my name is Lexi Lee, and I'm one of the lead counselors here at the University Career Center. I'm a Texas Tech graduate from the Davis College, and I'm currently getting my master's in strategic communication. So today's video, we're going to be going over all things resume. So resume tips and frequently asked questions, the layout and format, and the different areas that you need to include in your resume. And we'll end this video going over how the Career Center can help you. So before we jump into all the different sections of your resume, let's start off with some frequently asked questions we get here at the Career Center. So how long should your resume be? So just to give you some backstory, recruiters typically spend anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds reviewing your resume. So we want to make sure that it doesn't go over a page so that they're able to review all of your information. Now, when you're actually submitting your resume through an online platform, you need to remember that it's going through an applicant tracking system or an ATS system. Now, these are very intelligent computer systems, but they kind of go back down to the basics of they don't register text that's in color and they read from left to right. So that's why you want to create your own template that doesn't have any tables or columns or anything in the header and footer. Last, you need to be consistent with the font, spacing, and sizing. So for example, if you put a period after every bullet point, you need to do that throughout your resume. Another question we get asked is, what should the layout be? So the most common is reverse chronological, so most recent to furthest back. As you can see on that slide, that is typically the layout that is included, starting with your header, your education, and ending with skills. So starting off, as you saw on the last slide, the reverse chronological order, this is going to be your heading section. So the section that's at the very top of your resume. This is the first impression of you on paper. So you want to make sure that it's clean, concise, and easy to read. As you can see, all of the text is separated by lines. That way it's easy to read. Now, if you go by a preferred or a different name than your formal or legal name, you could put that in parentheses. But the information that you want to include in this section is your city, state, and zip code, so where you're currently at, a phone number that is easy to contact you, a professional email, and then lastly, any other additional information that you'd like them to know. So that can be your LinkedIn URL, or if you have a website or a portfolio that houses some of your examples. So the next section that we're going to go over is the education section. So this is typically first for current students and recent grads. Now, once you establish your career, this typically does fall to the bottom since you have relevant working experience. An important thing to consider, and as you can see on this slide, is we want to break up the content so that way it's easy for the hiring managers to read and see everything that's on here. So a few examples of doing that is underlining, capitalizing, so as you can see, education is capitalized, bolding, and utilizing italics. Now, again, most recent to furthest back. So you can see there's two Texas Tech universities. Since you're currently at Texas Tech University, and let's say that bottom one is a study abroad experience that you did your freshman year, you're going to put that at the bottom. Now, you can also add relevant courses. This is typically included if you have taken classes that are relevant to the field or to the job that you're applying for. Now, again, we don't want to have our resume to be too congested, so I wouldn't do more than 5 on there. So now we're moving on to the experience section. So on the right, you can see the different experience sections that could be relevant. So relevant experience or non-relevant work experience. This can also be listed as projects. So we do have some students say, I didn't have the opportunity to work during school. How can I show I have the knowledge for this job that I'm applying for? That's a great way to include projects. So starting off with relevant experience. As you can see, we've been consistent with what we were putting in that education experience to break up the content, underlining, bolding, and italicsing. Now with this, people are very visual people, so you want to utilize bullet points, as well as quantifying your experience. So on that first work experience, you can see 30 to 50 and over 20. You do not have to have the specific number, but anytime we can quantify our experience, that definitely adds ownership to what you bring to the table. Now, that first work experience, you can see that student is currently there, so it is in present tense. Now, that legal aid society position, they're no longer in that position, so that is past tense. Now, we do have some students who get work experience that isn't in the field that they necessarily want to go into. So one way to put that on there but not take up too much space is that other work experience. As you can see, it is very clearly on one line. It shows that they were working while they were in school, but it's not taking up too much space. And then that last portion is projects. Again, you want to be really specific as to why this is important and why you are wanting to tell them that this project gave you the experience that you need for this position. Okay, and we're going to be talking about these last few sections. So as you can see, this says volunteer/involvement. I'm just kind of wanting to show you that you don't have to use the exact words that I'm using. You could also say this is extracurricular. This is a way to show the hiring manager or recruiter that you are an involved and well-rounded individual, but you're also passionate about things outside of your major. So you can see there's a few different layouts, such as bolding, italicing, and keeping things, unbolded and regular. But you want to make sure, again, to be consistent with whatever you use, as well as most recent to furthest back. Now that skills section, this is going to be really important because recruiters or hiring managers can do keyword searches for skills that are really important to the job that they're hiring for. So you want to make sure and include these. So this can be broken down into a few different areas. So technical, interpersonal, or if you want to list awards in that as well. So as you can see on that first section, technical, we separate everything by a comma so that way those ATS systems can still read and acknowledge what those skills are. But we're saving space and not going down the resume. We're also going across it. Now, interpersonal skills are important because these are skills that they necessarily can't see that you have, but can set you apart from other individuals. So it is really important to have those on your resume. So now that we've gone over the different areas that are included in your resume, we do have some students say, well, I know what I do, but I don't know how to start my bullet points or how to word the experience that I have. So here's a list of buzzwords that are kind of categorized in different areas. As you can see, public relations, training. These are really great ways to make sure you're standing out and showing them how you add value in this position. Now, again, you want to make sure it's in the correct tense that you're in that position. So if you're currently at that job, it's going to be present tense. If you're no longer there, it's going to be past tense. Another helpful tool is ONET Online. So if you just scan that QR code, it will take you directly there. But this is a government website that breaks down the tasks and skills associated with the job title that you search. So for example, if you are a server, you can type in waitress and it will give professionally sounded bullet points of that experience. So that's a really great way to not kind of having to rethink the wheel of what do I do and what do I bring to the table. Definitely take those and expand and quantify your experience, but these are definitely a great starting points to add to your resume. So thank you for bearing with me. We're almost done. So if you scan that QR code, it will take you to all of the events that we have going on in fall 2022. So whether that be resume pop-ups, workshops, or any career fairs that we have going on, definitely scan that and see which ones pique your interest and write those dates down so that you don't miss these events. So I've attached a few different links regarding the services that we offer and our different types of appointments. So for example, we do review resumes that can be in person, virtually, or over the phone. So definitely check it out and see what fits best for your schedule and your needs. So my contact information is listed below on the left, and then the Career Center's information is on the right. So please don't hesitate to give us a call, schedule an appointment online, or send us an email. We definitely want to help you as best as we can. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day. We look forward to seeing you in part 2.